A Hollywood legend is gone. Graham Greene, the First Nations actor who shattered stereotypes and brought indigenous voices to the global stage, has died at 73. From Dances with Wolves to countless Canadian films and television roles, Greene wasn't just an actor. He was a symbol of resilience, culture, and truth. But what you may not know is the untold story behind his rise, his battles in the industry, and the legacy he leaves behind. A legacy that Hollywood never wanted you to see. The 1990 epic film Dances with Wolves, directed by and starring Kevin Costner, remains one of the most iconic and emotionally resonant portrayals of Native American culture and frontier life in American cinema. Behind its sweeping landscapes, moving performances, and powerful storytelling stood a talented cast whose dedication brought the story to life. Over the years, however, the world has bid farewell to many of the actors who helped shape the cinematic masterpiece. The deaths of 20 cast members serve as a poignant reminder of the passage of time and the deep emotional connection fans continue to feel toward the film and those who made it unforgettable. This tribute honors their lives, their contributions to film, and the legacy they leave behind. Floyd "Red Crow" Westerman delivered a memorable performance as Tin Bears, the strong and wise elder of the Sioux tribe. At 54 years old, Westerman embodied the character's ancient wisdom and spiritual strength with a calm dignity, his eyes reflecting centuries of history and experience. This role was not only an artistic triumph, but also a symbolic representation of the sacred bond between people and their traditions. However, Westerman's personal life was far more complex and fraught than his on-screen portrayal suggested. Born on August 17, 1936, he was not only an accomplished actor, but also a prominent singer and activist for Native American rights. Behind the spotlight, his life was marked by internal conflicts. Early in his career, rumors of family discord arose, with some siblings accusing him of exploiting tribal stories to bolster his fame. Throughout the 1990s, Westerman faced controversy surrounding financial management disputes with fellow activists and allegations of breaching traditional protocols during a major protest event, leading some Native leaders to distance themselves from him despite his collaborations with renowned artists like Sting. Despite these challenges, Westerman remained committed to his art and community work. In his later years, he battled leukemia but chose to forego chemotherapy, respecting his spiritual beliefs. He passed away on December 13, 2007 at the age of 71, leaving behind a legacy that was deeply significant both in cinema and within the Native American community he represented and served throughout his paradoxical life. Charles Rocket portrayed Lieutenant Elgin, a rigid and obedient Army officer whose quiet presence contrasted sharply with Rocket's own tumultuous life. Born August 28, 1949, Rocket was once regarded as a rising star on Saturday Night Live until a 1981 live broadcast incident in which he accidentally uttered a profanity led to his dismissal and a near exile from mainstream television. His career thereafter was marked by minor and villainous roles fading from the spotlight that once promised so much. Beneath his sardonic humor lay a man grappling with depression, alcoholism, and bitterness toward more successful peers. His personal life was reportedly troubled by tension, with rumors of infidelity and estrangement from family. On October 7, 2005, Rocket was found dead in a field near his Connecticut home. His throat slit in what was ruled a suicide. His tragic death shocked fans and colleagues alike, ending a life torn between lost opportunity and private anguish. Robert Pastor's portrayal of Timmons, the crude, loud, foul-mouthed teamster, brought the wild frontier spirit vividly to life in Dances with Wolves 1990. At 36, Pastorelli infused the role with such energy that many industry insiders said he never left the role. Yet, his personal life was plagued by chaos. Born June 21, 1954, Pastorelli struggled with drug addiction and devastating personal losses. In 1999, his girlfriend Shermananovich died of a gunshot wound at their home. Initially ruled a suicide, the case was later reinvestigated amid suspicions involving Pastor himself. Haunted by guilt and fear, he gradually lost his career, friendships, and sobriety. After numerous erratic incidents and unsuccessful rehab attempts, major studios severed ties with him. On March 8, 2004, Pastorelli was found dead of a heroin overdose at his Hollywood Hills residence, marking a tragic end to a once promising life consumed by private darkness. Mike Chaikin's portrayal of Major Famro in Dances with Wolves 1990 was a chilling depiction of madness, a deranged officer whose bizarre and unsettling presence both disturbed and intrigued audiences. At 41, Chaikin delivered a performance that was at once humorous and haunting, blurring the line between character and reality. Born July 27, 1949, Chaikin was celebrated as one of Canada's finest actors. But his Hollywood career was hindered by a volatile temperament and difficult behavior toward directors and colleagues. Reports of on-set outbursts and cold treatment of co-stars, particularly women, were frequent. An infamous incident during the filming of Whale Music reportedly led a female producer to quit following a confrontation. His personal life was also troubled. He battled diabetes and kidney failure while maintaining a self-deprecating wit and embracing roles rich in irony. Though married for many years, his marriage suffered from financial strain and obsessive dedication to his craft. On his 61st birthday, July 27, 2010, Chaikin passed quietly from complications related to a heart valve infection secondary to kidney failure. An understated end to a complex man who portrayed madness so convincingly that audiences often wondered where the performance stopped and the person began. Doris Leader-Charge portrayed Pretty Shield, the wise and gentle wife of 10 bears at age 60. Her character embodied quiet strength, maternal warmth, and profound wisdom, serving as a spiritual bridge that connected audiences to Lakota culture with rare depth and authenticity. Beyond the screen, Doris's life was marked by silent tragedies. Born on May 4, 1930, she was a dedicated advocate for preserving and teaching the Lakota language. Yet, behind her public role lay deep personal sorrow, including the loss of multiple children, a pain she seldom spoke of. Shaped by generational trauma and the historical marginalization of indigenous peoples, Doris was not only an actress, but also a witness to decades of cultural erasure. Despite her critical role as both language coach and actor contributing significantly to the film's success, she received minimal compensation and was largely overlooked in early promotional materials. Industry whispers suggest that her attendance at the Academy Awards ceremony occurred only after public outcry, and she was nearly excluded from the live broadcast. After decades devoted to Indigenous education and cultural preservation, Doris Leader-Charge passed away quietly on February 20, 2001 at age 70 due to complications following surgery, a poignant end for a resilient woman who never received full recognition during her lifetime. Jimmy Herman appeared in Dances with Wolves 1990 as Stone Calf, a fierce and resolute warrior embodying the unyielding spirit of indigenous peoples. At age 50, Herman's powerful and restrained performance left a lasting impression. However, his real-life struggles were profound. Born October 25, 1940, Herman battled years of alcohol addiction, which he described as the poison blood of colonial trauma, a term reflecting both personal suffering and the broader historical wounds of his community. His youth was marked by abandonment, violence, and later a bitter divorce that distanced him from his children. Court records from the early 1990s reveal custody disputes involving accusations of neglect and emotional detachment. Although he later rebuilt his life as an indigenous rights activist and mentor to youth, some peers viewed him as self-important, citing incidents such as pressuring an indigenous film festival to grant him a keynote speaking role under threat of boycott. Nonetheless, Herman persevered in his artistic and advocacy work until his health declined. He died on September 13, 2013 at age 72, reportedly from cancer, leaving behind a complex legacy defined by courage, redemption, and the enduring burden of unresolved trauma. Donald H. Houghton portrayed General Tide in Dances with Wolves 1990 at age 57, a stern military figure whose cold demeanor mirrored the actor's own reputed style. Born March 29, 1933, Houghton appeared in acclaimed films such as The China Syndrome, but never fully realized his career potential due to prolonged professional and personal instability. Known on set for his difficult temperament, Houghton frequently clashed with directors over creative control, leading some filmmakers to refuse working with him from the mid-1980s onward. Beneath his tough exterior, He struggled with severe paranoia, convinced he was blacklisted despite colleagues' denials. His personal life was similarly troubled, marked by 2 failed marriages and a contentious legal battle over inheritance that severed ties with his only daughter. In his later years, Hatan became increasingly isolated as career opportunities dwindled. He died quietly on April 14, 1999, at age 66 from heart complications, closing the chapter on a turbulent and privately painful artistic journey. Kevin Costner, born January 18, 1955, portrayed Lieutenant John J. Dunner in Dances with Wolves 1990 at age 35, a disillusioned Union soldier who finds purpose through a profound connection with the Lakota people. This role earned Costner critical acclaim and propelled him into prominence as both actor and director, helping the film secure 7 Academy Awards. Yet behind the success lay persistent tensions. Costner's reputation became marred by reports of domineering behavior on set, as he sought control over all aspects of production and frequently clashed with crew members. Legal disputes over the film's profits further contributed to his image as a confrontational figure. His later career was punctuated by costly failures such as Waterworld and The Postman, earning him the derisive nickname Kevin Costner for budget overruns. His personal life was equally turbulent. His long marriage to Cindy Silva ended in 1994 amid allegations of infidelity, followed by protracted legal battles over custody and multiple lawsuits linked to subsequent relationships. In recent years, Costner has found renewed visibility through the television series Yellowstone. Though controversies continue, including accusations of slowing production and conflicts with co-stars. As of 2025, at age 70, Costner is embroiled in a bitter divorce involving assets valued at approximately $250 million while enduring persistent media scrutiny over his relationships with younger women. The once iconic Western hero now faces a legacy marked by both past triumphs and enduring personal and professional fractures. Steve Rivas, born August 14 in 1962, appeared in Dances with Wolves 1990 at age 28 as Sioux warrior Narwin, a silent yet powerful presence embodying the quiet resilience of indigenous peoples. Though a minor role, Reeves' performance left a lasting impression reflecting his calm demeanor off-screen. However, his real life was marked by considerable hardship. Praised for his rare sincerity in portraying indigenous characters, Rivas faced persistent TYP casting within an industry often more concerned with surface images than authentic representation. Behind the spotlight, he endured extended periods of depression, unemployment, and struggles with addiction battles. He bore quietly and with pride, at times reportedly living in his car rather than seeking help. Despite receiving recognition from organizations such as First Americans in the Arts, he battled undiagnosed diabetes alongside chronic alcoholism. Close friends recall his final years as especially difficult as Hollywood's interest waned for those who no longer fit its narrow mold. Steve Rivas passed away suddenly on December 7, 2017 at age 55, marking a profound loss for the indigenous arts community and all who witnessed the genuine inner light he brought to his roles. Mary McDonnell, born April 28, 1952, portrayed Stands with a Fist in Dances with Wolves at age 38. Her character, a white woman raised by the Sioux after surviving a childhood massacre, resonated deeply with audiences through a compelling blend of trauma, inner strength, and gentle wildness. The role earned McDonnell an Academy Award nomination and represented a significant breakthrough in a career previously hindered by Hollywood's rigid beauty standards and biases. Prior to this, she honed her craft on regional stages often overlooked for not fitting conventional camera ideals. McDonnell's personal life was once perceived as stable, notably through her long marriage to actor Randall Mell. However, their quiet separation in the late 2010s surprised many. Insiders revealed the marriage had suffered from prolonged emotional distance, and despite counseling efforts, reconciliation proved impossible. McDonnell also faced private struggles with recurring depression and experienced a strained relationship with her daughter, a pain she kept out of the public eye. As of 2025, Mary McDonnell is 73 years old, residing quietly in Los Angeles, away from the spotlight that once defined her career and sometimes caused personal anguish. Her portrayal of Stands with a Fist remains a powerful testament to her emotional depth and talent. Rear Grant, born March 9, 1959, took on the role of Wind in his hair in Dances with Wolves at age 31. His intense portrayal of a proud warrior who evolves from antagonist to loyal friend left a lasting impression on audiences. Yet behind this strong on-screen image was a life marked by trauma and instability. Raised without his parents and shuffled among various relatives, Grant's childhood was turbulent. These early hardships echoed into adulthood. During the peak of his career in the 1990s, he developed a reputation for unpredictability, disappearing for extended periods amid rumors of substance use and complicated personal relationships, though none were ever confirmed. His marriage ended in heartbreak, burdened by allegations of infidelity and emotional estrangement. Professionally, Grant was outspoken in opposing agents and producers when offered roles he felt compromised his dignity, a stance that ultimately limited his opportunities. By 2025, at age 66, Grant leads a quiet, low-profile life in Arizona, reportedly estranged from some of his children and largely avoiding media attention. Graham Greene, born June 22, 1952, portrayed Kicking Bird in Dances with Wolves at age 38. His portrayal of a calm, wise Lakota medicine man brought dignity and nuance to a rare and respectful Hollywood depiction of indigenous peoples. The role earned Greene an Academy Award nomination and ignited new hopes for indigenous representation in film. However, Greene's off-screen life was far more complex and often turbulent. His youth was marked by violence, instability, and prolonged mental health struggles. Greene survived a suicide attempt at a young age and battled alcoholism for many years in expression of the intergenerational trauma that affected his family. Later in life, he became a vocal advocate for sobriety and mental health awareness. Though the early scars continued to affect his personal relationships, on set Greene was known as reserved and sometimes challenging, unafraid to confront filmmakers he felt misrepresented indigenous culture. Rumors circulated that in the late 1990s he looked down on colleagues whom he perceived as romanticizing indigenous experiences without genuine understanding. Despite critical respect, Greene repeatedly rejected stereotypical roles, leading to fewer mainstream opportunities. He openly admitted to bouts of depression and alienation within an industry he regarded as insincere. As of 2025, Greene, age 72, lives quietly in Ontario, removed from Hollywood's glare, but remaining a symbol of artistic integrity and uncompromising indigenous dignity. Tanu Cardinal, born July 20, 1950, portrayed Black Shaw in Dances with Wolves, 1990, at age 40. Her character, a stern yet nurturing presence, served as a vital emotional anchor for the Sioux family. Cardinal's personal history is marked by profound adversity, having survived the Canadian residential school system, where she endured significant cultural erasure and abuse. In the late 1980s, she confronted a battle with alcoholism, a struggle she later addressed discreetly in interviews. Professionally, Cardinal was outspoken against cultural appropriation, frequently clashing with white directors, which contributed to her being blacklisted by several major production companies throughout the 1990s. An active indigenous rights advocate, she was arrested in 2011 during protests against the Keystone Pipeline, marking a continuation of her long-standing activism. A previous brief detention during a 1990s protest was kept confidential by her activist circle. As of 2025, at age 74, Cardinal remains engaged in indigenous advocacy, though those close to her describe her lifestyle as somewhat reclusive, maintaining distance from certain colleagues and family members. Tom Everett, born October 21, 1948, was 42 when he portrayed Sergeant Pepper in Dances with Wolves, 1990, a role that aligned closely with his real-life demeanor. Though his screen time was limited, Everett's presence on set was memorable, albeit sometimes contentious. A graduate of the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, he was recognized for his considerable talent, but also for a moody and quick-tempered disposition. Colleagues frequently noted his penchant for criticizing crew members over minor issues, and rumors circulated that a near loss of his role occurred after a heated confrontation with an assistant producer, an incident kept confidential by the studio. During the 1990s, Everett's second marriage ended amid allegations of infidelity and financial improprieties. In 1998, he faced a tax evasion investigation, though charges were ultimately dropped. Subsequently, he pursued a career as a playwright, with critics characterizing his works as permeated by thinly veiled autobiographical rage. As of 2025, Everett, now 76, is retired and leads a largely reclusive life. Michael Spears, born December 28, 1977, was only 13 years old when he played Otter in Dances with Wolves, 1990. Raised on the Lower Brule Sioux Reservation, Spears encountered poverty, racism, and family instability from a young age. Thrust prematurely into the public eye following the film's release, he struggled emotionally in adolescence. In his late teens, he experimented with drugs and faced extended bouts of depression. A DUI arrest in his 20s, followed by court-ordered rehabilitation, nearly derailed his career. Though these incidents were kept largely private during media engagements, in later years, Spears sought to transform his struggles into positive action through music and cultural advocacy. Nevertheless, rumors of erratic behavior and emotional volatility surfaced during his professional endeavors. His troubled marriage ended in divorce amid allegations of emotional neglect and strained relations with one of his children. Open about his ongoing journey toward healing and sobriety, Spears at age 47 as of 2025 remains active in cultural outreach, though those close to him acknowledge he continues to wrestle with personal challenges. Larry Joshua, born February 12, 1952, portrayed Sergeant Bauer in Dances with Wolves, 1990, at age 38. Though a relatively minor role, he effectively embodied the cold, detached military authority, providing a stark contrast to the protagonist's transformative journey. Off-screen, however, Joshua's life was shadowed by difficulties. While regarded as somewhat stable, his career never fully advanced, hindered by persistent rumors of difficult behavior and moodiness. Crew members in the early 1990s recalled frequent clashes with directors over minor script alterations. Joshua's marriage to actress Sharon Gabay was tumultuous, marked by allegations of infidelity, particularly rumors in 1994 of an affair with a younger co-star during an off-Broadway production. The marriage eventually ended quietly in divorce. One of his 3 children publicly distanced themselves in 2011, posting a now-deleted blog accusing Joshua of emotional neglect. Gradually, Joshua faded from Hollywood with speculation that his abrasive reputation led to unofficial blacklisting. As of 2025, at age 73, he lives a secluded life in upstate New York, seldom seen in public. Annie Costner, born April 15, 1984, was just 6 years old when she appeared as Christine in Dances with Wolves. Though her role was minor, she gained more recognition as the daughter of Kevin Costner, the film's star and producer, than for her acting abilities. Later, Annie transitioned to film production, focusing primarily on social and environmental projects. Within the entertainment industry, however, speculation persisted that her career advancement was largely influenced by her family name rather than her individual talents. In 2017, she was involved in a discreet financial dispute with a former business partner concerning allegations of mismanagement and favoritism, a matter swiftly resolved behind closed doors. Her marriage to Dr. Danny Cox has been publicly calm, but insiders close to the Costner family have revealed underlying tensions, particularly following Kevin Costner's turbulent divorce in 2023, which exposed various familial conflicts and financial complications. Additionally, Annie's name appeared in leaked documents connected to controversial real estate investment strategies involving the Costner family. Despite maintaining a composed and professional public persona, she navigates a complex web of privileges and private controversies. As of 2025, at age 41, Annie continues to dedicate herself to environmentally focused film production. Kirk Baltz, born September 14, 1959, was 31 when he portrayed Edwards in Dances with Wolves. His character, an innocent and obedient soldier, aligned with Baltz's inclination to play emotionally vulnerable men, notably exemplified by his acclaimed role as a troubled cop in Reservoir Dogs. Behind his acting prowess, however, Baltz grappled with feelings of rejection and mental instability. His career sharply declined in the early 2000s after a disruption on the set of an independent film resulted in his replacement mid-production. Colleagues described him as talented but unstable, with unconfirmed rumors of substance abuse. In 2006, Baltz faced a civil lawsuit filed by a former student from his acting school alleging emotional manipulation and inappropriate conduct. No formal charges were filed, and the case concluded quietly. Despite ongoing efforts to rehabilitate his professional reputation through teaching, Baltz remains a cautionary figure within some Los Angeles acting circles. As of 2025, he is 65 years old, living in Los Angeles and continuing his work as an acting coach, though rarely appearing on screen. Sheldon Peters Wolfchild, born 1946, was 44 when he appeared as Sioux Warrior Nerd 2 in Dances with Wolves. Though his screen time was brief, Wolfchild conveyed his character's inner dignity and depth with notable respect. A Vietnam War veteran awarded the Bronze Star, he has openly discussed his struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Wolfchild also faced bouts of depression and social isolation, notably withdrawing from community activities for nearly 2 years in the early 2000s. His outspoken criticism of certain tribal leaders as puppets of colonial powers sparked controversy and led to his alienation from parts of the Native American community. His documentary films garnered both praise and criticism for their confrontational style. In 2012, a heated dispute over funding and content ownership with another Native filmmaker nearly escalated to legal action. Beneath his stoic exterior, Wolfchild carries the weight of deep wounds and the burden of historical trauma. Now 78, he lives reclusively in Minnesota, continuing his creative and advocacy work while limiting public appearances. Wes Studi, born December 17, 1947, was 43 when he portrayed a fierce pony warrior in Dances with Wolves. The role was consistent with his real-life reputation as a serious, intense individual known for an unpredictable temper. A Vietnam War veteran, Studi has spoken candidly about a period of heavy drinking and anger following his military service. On the film set in the 1990s, he was known for his difficult demeanor, including walking off a shoot after a dispute over costumes. His first marriage ended amid allegations of controlling behavior, and his eldest son severed contact for over a decade. In 1993, Studi was arrested for public intoxication following a bar fight. Charges were later dropped. Despite these personal struggles, Studi remains a respected elder within the Native American community and film industry. As of 2025, at age 77, he is semi-retired, but continues to speak at cultural events, seldom publicly addressing his challenging past. How do you feel learning about the lives and challenges of the actors from Dances with Wolves? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this content insightful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our next video. Thank you for watching.